I've now completely entered my first Ozone QC check into the toolbox, and I've also completely filled out my data collection sheet based on the toolbox answers that I got. So the next thing I want to do is enter my second Ozone QC check, and that was the Ozone QC check I had to do on the same day because my first Ozone QC check had a failing 0 check. So to enter a new record into the toolbox for your QC data, you use these navigation buttons that are on the bottom left side of your screen. So to go forward, I click on the forward arrow and that will take me to a new blank record. I could have also used this button here that has a little star next to it, and that will also take me to a new blank record. I'll use this first button to go into a blank record. And now this is the second record that I'm going to fill in. So I need to go through the same steps I did for that first ozone check. So I'll go ahead and select my pollutant. And my QC frequency is biweekly again. I entered the data. This was on the same day, and the time was a little bit after that first check. Same site and the same sampler. And again, the type of assessment is 1-point quality control because I did this check with my instrumentation and it's not an external audit. So I click 1-point quality control, and now I'm going to go back into the data collection sheet and start looking for what values I need to enter here. So this was my first check, so I scroll down, and now this is my second check on the second page. So the full scale is still 500, and I don't have this data, so I'm going to tab through these until I get the shelter temperature. So my shelter temperature is 22. And I get tab out, and that takes me to the pressure field, which I don't collect. So I tab again and go to my 0 check units, and I collect my data in, let's make sure of this, parts per billion. So my 0 check is in parts per billion. And I leave my 0 input known value as 0 because my known for my 0 check is going to be 0. And click into the 0 device display field, and let's see what that value, 1.9. So I enter that, and then when I press tab, this time around, the 0 qualifier field is not filled in, it's left blank by the toolbox, so that means that my 0 check is now passing. After the maintenance I did on my sampler, everything is fine, and my 0 check is now passing. I click on the concentration, and I would go through these same steps to enter the data for my second check. Since I've already demonstrated this, I'm not going to demonstrate this whole data entry again, but you would go through the same steps of filling in your check 1 units, your known 1, your device display, your data logger, tabbing through the fields, and then filling in your QC check form based on the answers the toolbox gave you. And then after I completed my data entry for my second QC check and filled in my data collection sheet for my second QC check, I would use these navigation buttons to navigate to the third check and then enter that third check into the toolbox as well.